Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pima Voices. I'm Krissy King, and I'll be your host today. In this episode, we are super excited to be able to have the opportunity to connect with Savannah Franco, your hostess with the mostest of Pima Voices. Hi, Savannah.
Hi, Krissy.
So today you're sitting on the opposite side of the table.
Right? I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is. That hot seat, huh?
I don't like it.
Well, why don't you tell the audience a little bit about yourself so we can learn who the hostess of Pima Voices is?
Well, luckily I've talked about myself a little bit on this podcast, but for those who don't know, my name's Savannah. We'll start there. I went to Pima. Where did I go first? I was graduate from Marana High School. I went to Pima. I first started in 2012. I was going for criminal justice. Learned very quickly after I finished I don't know if anyone knows what the Explorer program is with the police department, but I was a Tucson Explorer for a few years. Once I finished that and I did some criminal justice classes, I was like, maybe this is not for me. And so then I was introduced to the fashion design department and I fell in love. Fashion has always been a passion of mine. And so I was super excited to find out that program existed. I still really do like criminal justice, but it's just not my career path. So arts is. And I did, when they had the certificate, I did the fashion design certificate. I went back and did my AA, and I did that in 2020. And then I worked here at the college in the fashion design department. I was the lab supervisor, so I essentially kind of was in charge of the fashion lab when there wasn't classes going on, and I would assist students with like their sewing and their pattern making and any questions they had on their projects. And I loved that because it was a way for me to be hands-on and doing fashion things once more. Because you don't always get to do that in your everyday life. So it was fun doing that for about 3 years. And at the same time, I was working here with the foundation. And so now I'm solely with the foundation. And I'm a full-time student as well at the U of A now. I decided to go back to school and get my bachelor's. And I'm doing the fashion industry, science, and technology there with a studio art minor.
I know we really enjoy having you at the foundation. Your energy, your creativity, I can speak here, it's just been a huge asset to the team. So thank you so much for being there.
Thank you. That's so sweet.
And with that being said, I'm always hearing something new about Savannah. Can you share some of the accomplishments that you have had throughout your journey?
Yes. So I'm not very comfortable talking about myself sometimes, but I owe a lot of it to the fashion design department. My very first big opportunity was one of our instructors who works out of California. So she was an online instructor, Julia Skiba. She was working with a group to do a dog rescue runway show. And then these people got a Netflix deal. And so I was able to participate in this runway show that's on Netflix. So that was like a huge thing that I was like so excited for. And it's very strange seeing yourself on TV. And that was a super fun and exciting opportunity. I had to apply for that one and get chosen. So I was the only student outside of California who got to participate in that. So that one was a lot of fun.
That is really neat. Can you tell us a little bit about your show and what it's called on Netflix that you were involved in?
It's not my show.
I know, not your show that you were involved in.
So that show is called Pet Stars. And it's actually a company that they're like a pet agency where they like those animals you see on TV. They contract, I guess, out those pets to be in like movies and TV shows. And so it's episode 4, a canine couture.
So did you make clothes for the animals?
I
or
did.
what was
I
this
made
about?
little denim jackets for are these two little dogs. I still have them because I don't know what to do with them, but they're so cute. I just want to hang on to them. And then I made little pajamas for like a bulldog and another dog. And so I made coordinating outfits that matched like the models. So a lot of the models that I worked with, they came with me to LA to do it. And so I made like matching coordinating outfits that like matched the dogs' outfits with the models. And so they were all dogs that could be adopted, and they were just so cute.
Oh my gosh, what a great experience.
It was super fun. I'm super thankful for that experience, and that wouldn't have happened if I didn't go to the fashion design department. So
Here at Pima. So there's more accomplishments. Would you like, let's share some more. Let's dig in a little bit.
All right. I guess we are really getting to know me. Let's see. I have won awards 2 years in a row at 10 West Festival. They have a fashion show. The first year I won most creative, I think. And then last year for 2023, I won People's Choice. I was the grand prize winner. So that was a lot of fun. But it was also space themed. So if I didn't win that one, I probably would have been a little sad because my whole inspiration of clothing is very like space inspired, because I just think space is super exciting and fun, and so I was like, this is made for me. But I will say there is a lot of great talent in fashion in Tucson, and so I saw a lot of really fun clothes at both shows, and I met a lot of fun people, which is exciting too, because not everyone comes to the fashion design department at Pima, and so meeting people outside of that was super exciting. I met Tim Gunn. That was super cool. So that was an opportunity at the U of A, and I got chosen for that one. And it was a styling, I don't want to say competition because it wasn't a competition, but it was a styling event. And so I had to style an outfit based off a poem. And so that was so cool. I like died a little bit because it's Tim Gunn. And I don't know if you can rewatch that, but that was like, I literally died and went to heaven because Tim Gunn is such an icon in fashion. And I was so, oh my gosh, I literally am just like, just thinking about it because it's Tim Gunn. But that was super fun. I won patch designs for Levi's at the U of A as well. So they chose 2 of my designs. They were only supposed to pick 4 students, and so they picked 2 of mine. So that was cool too. So I was the only student who had 2 designs picked, and that was like a collab with the U of A and Levi's, and they did a whole pop-up on campus. So that was really fun as well. What else? I can't think. I don't know. There's not a lot of things, but there are a lot of things at the same time. But
from what I heard, that there's a homecoming game coming up. There might be a shirt.
No, it's for the Red Out game.
The Red Out game. Okay, can you tell us a little bit more about this?
So I also won. That just feels weird saying that. So there was a competition through the Norton College that I'm in under my degree, and they were seeking students to design for the big Red Out game against ASU in November. And so my design was chosen. So that's going to be really fun because I guess that's a really huge game. I'm not a big football person, but it's against ASU. So my design was picked for that. So that's going to be printed on all the t-shirts for the big Red Out game in the Territorial Cup game, I guess they call it. So that's fun. Everyone will be wearing my t-shirt.
Yes, and I know all of us at the foundation will be purchasing those and wearing that swag proudly.
So
Anything else?
I don't know. No. I'm in the hot seat, and it's hard to think of other things, but those are all things that I can contribute to what I learned here at the college. I put that to what I wanted, and that has gotten me those opportunities. So
that was pretty neat. Is there someone in particular here at Pima Community College that you just connected with that really helped you find your journey and your path?
Nancy Spalding. She is like one of my favorite humans on this earth. She is the department head, and she's retiring well-deserved retirement, but she is retiring after almost 18 years, I want to say. I just felt like very early on in the fashion program, I just really wasn't like getting it or connecting with it quite right away. And I was struggling really hard. I'd never picked up a sewing machine before. It involves a lot more math than I had anticipated, and I'm not good at math. And so I was just struggling really hard. And Nancy was just very driven. And so she was just like, you know, a little bit more stern than I was used to. But then I realized she's really only like that because she sees your potential and she wants you to succeed and she wants you to do well. And so, like, she's just pushing you to do your very best. Anyone who knows me knows I cried so hard all the time in those classes because I was just so, like, I was just such a mess. But it was just like, I was committed to doing better and learning and getting it and understanding it. And she was just like my driving force. And when I was finishing up their certificate, she's like, you should start your brand. Like, that's the next step. Like, let's work on that. And to this day, like, I finished my certificate in 2017. I went back, did my AA in 2020, and then I worked for her. So, like, to this day, she's still such a supporter. She's always like, what's next? What do I need to check out? And, oh, check out this opportunity. And I know she does that with many other students. And so that's one thing that's going to be super missed, I think, within the department is, like, she has such well connections. She has such drive and passion for her students, and she's willing to push them to do their very best. And she's just like, I know you can do it. And sometimes people are like, oh, she's so stern. But I was like, no, like, she's trying to get you ready for the industry because the industry isn't, I'm going to sound different. The industry isn't playing. Like, they are going to push you, and there's deadlines to meet. And fashion is a very hard industry to break into and, like, get those jobs. And, like, it moves so fast. And so she's just, like, prepping you for industry because she knows it. She's worked in it. And so I'm, like, so thankful to her. And she's in my phone, and we have little conversations, and she's just, like, my mentor. And I'm very, very thankful for her. And she's going to be missed, but I'll still see her.
Yes. And I think, you know, there's a lot, like you said, there's a lot of students that she's probably advocating and pushing and just really helping them really run through that path, right? And finding what they like.
Yeah, there's tons of former students who are like, who get in contact with her and still connect with her. And there's things that she sees and she's like, oh, this is perfect for this student and so forth. So that's just really important in, like, a classroom environment. Just having that instructor who just really does believe in you, I think is really important. And that's just such a vital part of that department. And whoever takes her place, I'm sure will do the same thing, but she just did so well. She is doing well.
And, you know, I think that's one of the gems of being in a community college, right? You just get some of those professors and those advocates and those champions that just really connect with you and help you.
That's why I always loved school. I loved going to school when I was young, and it was always, like, the teachers that I had connected with, or, you know, the teacher that, like, rooted for you when you were struggling. Like, she's that same type of person that I enjoyed when I was young. And so I'm just thankful that we crossed paths.
Yeah, definitely. So you did mention in there that get your brand started. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the Savannah brand?
So it's still a work in progress because, unfortunately, I decided to keep going to school for 10 years. I should be a doctor by now, but you never stop learning, so it's fine. But it's been my little baby since 2020, which is probably the wrong time to launch a brand, but it is what it is. And so it's been slowly growing and evolving over time. And it's mainly just like ready-to-wear clothing. And so time has always been, like, the biggest hurdle, one would say, to continue that brand. I don't have the time to devote to it as much as I would like to, but I'm hoping when school's over I can. But I would also like it to change just out of fashion. Like, I love fashion and I still want that to be, like, a core of my brand. But to me, fashion should always be fun and exciting. You should be able to experiment with what you're wearing. It's who you are. And fashion, like, it should be taken seriously, but it should also not be taken seriously. And I just think it's fun to just wear whatever you want. Like, we live in the perfect time. We can wear whatever we want. And you hear people be like, I wish I was in this decade because I like the clothing. And it's like, you can wear that now. Like, you can do it now. And so that's what's so great about this time is like fashion is just so fun. And things are changing with like technology and AI, and it's helping like kind of push some of those elements. And just watching runway shows, I'm just like, I'm getting off topic. But my brand is all about having fun and just being fun with fashion, and it's inspired by some space stuff. But I think that's going to change because I want it to be a little bit more of who I am and just like would I wear that essentially. And so sometimes when you're like an artist, you're creating because you want to sell products, right? And so sometimes that can impede on artistic creation, I guess is the correct term. Mm-hmm. And so I want to go back to, like, I've been so focused on trying to get it off the ground and get sales and get it going that I forgot, like, why I started it. And so I'm still going to continue with creating fashion and so forth and looks, but I'm going to have a little bit more fun with it now. And I also want to include all the other art stuff that I do. Like, I just started in ceramics. I love screen printing. Like, I love making jewelry. And so I want it to be more than just a fashion brand. I want it to be like a whole collective of items. And so I would love to be able to share my art in more ways than just fashion. And so the brand name is Savannah, which is the origin of Savannah. So it's my name, just in its roots.
Oh, that's super exciting. And I know I'm super excited to see what you do. I mean, you're always so creative and you just have great ideas, and I know you're going to go great places. But before we wrap up, there's one other thing I kind of wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
So you had a pretty amazing experience this summer. Can you tell us about your going to Italy?
So I was very fortunate, and I think going back to school at an older age, like, you just appreciate education just a little bit more. And so I was able to get some scholarships, and I was able to study abroad in Italy this summer. Yay. It was so much fun. Anyone who goes to school, I think, should try and seek out those opportunities. I know when I first started school, like, scholarships, the topic of it was just like, I didn't know what to do, anything like that. So now I tell everyone, like, get those scholarships. Like, you just never know. Like, people think the craziest things. And it's like, no, it could be possible. You just have to apply for scholarships. You just never know. I didn't think I was going to get this scholarship. Like, one of my main scholarships I got was like a national scholarship. And so that helped funded most of my trip. But, oh my God, it was amazing. And I think everyone should have the opportunity to experience a new culture and immerse themselves in a new city, a new culture, try different things. And that's what that whole experience was. So I took some courses. I did magazine journalism and global fashion marketing. And my journalism class was super exciting. I got my teacher was an owner of like a magazine in Rome. And so I wrote some articles that got published. And so that was really fun. And that helped me inspire our blog posts on the foundation side, foundation stories. So I forgot how much I loved writing. And that's just another fun avenue that I've been able to explore, that I wouldn't have been able to do that or realize how much I liked it if I didn't take that class. And so I love that I can contribute that skill to here at the foundation during the foundation stories. And then global fashion marketing, well, I need that for fashion. And that was a good insight too. And that was really fun. But I want to go back. Yeah. I won't think about it now. But one of my scholarships, the main one, how I'm going to complete the requirements for that one is I'm making a collection inspired by Italy for that one. So it's going to premiere in December. And so I'm going to do like instead of a runway show, I'm going to video it and put together a little film for that one and then put it on my website and social media. So that one will be really fun. And I'm making a really fun sculptural like wearable piece in ceramics right now for that. So that's going to be fun and interesting, but I'm really excited to complete that collection because I just love making clothes. So,
well, as you've said in other podcasts, art, I think you had with Dana, I think it might have been a couple weeks ago or something, but you were saying like art is everywhere and it's not just in the clothes or anything, but writing, the way you write and stuff. So you're a great writer, and what you've been doing and how you brought that into the job and what you're doing now has been amazing. So
thank you.
It's really
art
been
is
great.
Everywhere.
It is. It's really been nice to have you on the other side of the table and really get to learn more about you and all the amazing things that you've done, and can't wait to hear about more that you're going to do.
Well, honestly, it's literally here. I wasn't even going to come to college. My situation, it was like, oh, nope, you're going. So I was like, oh, okay. And I ended up finding something that completely changed my life. And so I know college isn't for everyone, but if you can just take some time to maybe figure it out and just explore a class that you might be interested in. I think Fabi and I talked about this on a few podcasts ago. Like, she didn't want to go to college, but like, just try it. Like, just dip your toe in the water. If you don't like it, you can retract yourself from the environment. But I think it's important to explore and figure out what you really want to do, because I love my job at the foundation, but I also love fashion and art so much. And so that's what brings me joy. And I wouldn't be able to continue to explore those avenues if I didn't find those at school and then, continue my education that way. But go to college.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Savannah.
Thank you, Krissy. It was fun having you as the host.
Yeah.
The hostess with the mostest.
Well, thank you all for tuning in. Next week, Savannah will be on this side of the table, and see you then.